We've got the great Louis Riddick in studio with us, so we're going to play a game of What Say Lou? We're taking Lou's favorite rookies as we inch toward the preseason. Lou, give me your first one, your favorite rookie.
Oh, the backfield, a la Saquon Barkley. That's what teams are looking for now. These home run hitters. He's with the perfect head coach in Pete Carroll.
What's he looking at?
Oh, well now, look, it's Tyler Shuck down in New Orleans. It's Ben, my guy. And I'll tell you, anytime he does good, it's crickets out of New Orleans. It's crickets out of the South. They don't want to hear it. Anytime he throws an interception, I'll tell you, the guy is trending on social media. Anytime he has a bad practice, a bad throw, just a bad moment. When he gets in the preseason games, this is the guy who I want to watch. I saw him play live twice last year. Jeff Brom is a former teammate and a good friend of mine who tutored him down in Louisville. This kid has the skills. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. You know, we were all just arguing on the desk that night about why he slipped to the 5th round and whether or not he should have. Now he gets a chance to shut up everyone, all the talk surrounding whether or not he was first-round caliber, starting caliber, or whether he wasn't even an NFL prospect. This is his first crack at it. I'm sure for a preseason game, this is going to be a pretty highly viewed football game on TV.
Friday night, they play the Panthers. Mike Tannenbaum, obviously, you've been a GM multiple places. Shedeur Sanders, after all the buzz before the draft fallout, and then this summer about not getting reps, here we are. He's starting week 1 in the preseason. What are your thoughts?
Take your opportunity, Shedeur, and run with it. And all you want to do is stack one good series on top of the next. No self-inflicted wounds, no pre-snap penalties, no delay games. Get the ball in your hands. You want to watch his lower body and his footwork. That will show you whether or not he's comfortable. Hopefully he's studied. I hope and believe that he has, and he'll be ready to go. And guess what? If you do that, Shedeur, you'll get more reps the week after. Stack one good week on top of the next.
Bart, a young quarterback, 5th-round guy, obviously rookie, coming in, playing with the ones without a lot of reps. How do you think this goes?
Listen, I always say this all the time. Adversity doesn't define character, reveals it. And we know what him and his brother has been like because they've said and done all the right things. Forget what the perception was of them coming in. The reality is what they've shown us since they've been professionals. I think this is an opportunity that he's been waiting for. And I think his team, listen, he's said all the right things. And I'm sure it's a quiet confidence because he knows that he was a first rounder, that he deserved to be called in the first round. So listen, you take that big chip, you put on your shoulder. We have a long history of guys that put chips on their shoulders that propelled them all the way to Hall of Fame jackets, but also to Pro Bowls and all that stuff. I think that he's made of that. I can remember him ever since he was a kid running around in the locker room when I was a Baltimore Raven playing with his dad. Like, he knows what a professional looks like and he knows how to behave when he gets there. I expect him to step on that field and show up and show out.
All right, Louis Riddick, what can't he do? Like, what can't we see for us to then the next day be like, eh?
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously, as Mike was alluding to, you can't have pre-snap penalties. You can't turn the football over. You can't play off schedule on a consistent basis where it looks like you don't know what you're looking at. And meaning that you haven't been locked in, even though you haven't gotten the reps that you need in order to play at a real high level. Because I'll tell you what, look, Bart knows this. We were talking about it off camera. I know this. When you are a guy who was maybe starting out number 3, number 4 on the depth chart, really, it's about this. Are you willing to do the work and do the preparation when you don't know when the payoff's going to come?
Right.
That's really the true definition of resilience.
When nobody's
okay, when no one thinks that you're going to do the work because you don't know when the payoff's going to come, are you still putting in the time? This kid is wired to put in the time. And now it's his time to shine, which means show him that you've been in the book. And number 2, I always said this to myself in preseason in the NFL. Give them 1 or 2 dramatic snaps where they sit there and go, in that staff meeting after the game, number 12's got to get more reps. Number 12's got to move up the depth chart. Because did you see that? The uncoached look, the unscouted look to where he makes the right play and makes the dramatic play. Because he's done it. He's done it in his career. He just needs to do it at this level now.
In 2018, I remember being up in Canton, and Lamar was a rookie, and Flacco was a starter. In the preseason game, the preseason opener, Hall of Fame game, Lamar broke a run, and it was like, that's undeniable. Like,
there you go.
He saw the play, like, you got to get him on the field somehow.
That's right.
Can Shedeur do anything on Friday night where the front office, who might be thinking, oh, we already got our headset on Flacco, is saying, oh, no, wait a second.
Yes, absolutely. Bring juice, bring energy. And this is what's so great about our sport, guys. We're the ultimate meritocracy. And if he can prove that because of his youth, his athleticism, it's different than Joe Flacco, Peter, then he could earn more time. And if it's more time in week 2 than week 3, look, we're on the desk with 2 guys that weren't drafted that both had really good careers in the NFL. That's what it's all about, is Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are in the business of winning games. If he gives them a 1% chance to win than Joe Flacco, they will play him, and someone's going to do that. It was Kirk Cousins, it was Kurt Warner. Like, there are these unheard of stories. Why not Shedeur?
And it's important for Andrew Berry and their regime because they messed up the Deshaun Watson acquisition. So what they have to do, they have an opportunity to have a 5th-round draft pick that can be their future franchise quarterback that can allow them to go out and have a cheap quarterback at a cheap position, go out and get hired guns and build around him so that they can try and take advantage of these windows. We see it happen with Brock Purdy.
I was going to say, this sounds like Trey Lance, Brock Purdy.
Can I just say this, and I know we need to go, I just want to say this quickly, though. It's important that Andrew Berry and the people in the front office and at the ownership level to not have bias enter into this.
Understood.
Okay?
Right.
That if it
Be
plays,
open to this.
That's right. If it plays out to where he's the best, you can't have, but we drafted Dylan Gabriel in the third. We got to push him. Let it happen if it's going to happen.
Okay. This is Cleveland. The Browns made an announcement yesterday. They are going to start Shedeur Sanders at quarterback for the team's preseason opener against the Panthers Friday. The decision comes in part due to fellow quarterbacks Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel dealing with injuries. It make no difference. Sanders has yet to see any consistent first-team reps throughout camp, but will be given an opportunity to prove himself. We have a great loaded NFL panel here on the show. We start with Redick. Lewis, this start is significant to say the least. Injuries aside, even though it's preseason, though, what is at stake for Shedeur Sanders going out there Friday as the QB1 for the Cleveland Browns?
Well, look, this is the opportunity I think we all would like to see him get in terms of having first-team reps in a game setting. Now, the problem is he hasn't taken a whole lot of reps with the first team. So as I talked about previously here, this is the kind of scenario that you don't want. You're going out there with the first team, but you haven't really repped with them. You haven't really gone through all the different calls that the quarterbacks that have been getting the majority of the 1s and 2s have gotten. So for him, hey, look, he may not be able to lock down the starting job with this performance, but he can definitely lose it. That's just the life of being a late-round draft pick. They expect you to be perfect, although you weren't necessarily set up for perfection. But if there's anybody who is built to handle this kind of opportunity, it's him, because of the kind of football he played at Colorado, because of the kind of young man that he is. So look, this is what we've been waiting to see. This is what all young draft picks want to see. And the only thing I'll say for him is this. You got to go out there, you got to make 1 or 2 wild plays, play a clean game, but you got to give them something to remember when they go back in those personnel meetings.
Mark Scott, we've been talking a lot about Shedeur all offseason through the draft, and guess what? Their first time taking the field in the preseason, Shedeur Sanders is QB1. What can he do on Friday night?
Show poise and leadership. I mean, I've been here. What's the definition of luck? It's when opportunity meets preparation. And listen, all those things that you're doing when you're the guy that doesn't get any reps. I was undrafted free agent. I don't know Luke's whole story.
Same kind of
thing. Trying to figure things out, right? You got to learn from other people's mistakes. But you understand that when your opportunity comes, you got to be ready to pounce. Listen, he's a thoroughbred. We know where he comes from. We know who his father is. We know what the standard is. All he has to do is show poise and show that he can handle the pressure. Be in the pocket, make smart decisions, show accuracy, and I think it'll be fine. I think he can set himself up where they have to make a decision. Do they trade Kenny Pickett or do they trade Joe Flacco? Because I think at the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns have to come out with a starter for the future to figure out or if they're going to get in this quarterback sweepstakes that's coming up in the next draft. So